When we talk about leaders who shaped history, we often think of those who dared to challenge the system, people who stood against the odds and still found a way to change the world. Donald J. Trump is one of those names. Whether you love him or hate him, you cannot deny that his influence on global peace, politics, and leadership has been unlike anything we've seen in modern times. This is not just about politics. This is about the undeniable truth. Donald Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Let's take a step back and remember what the Nobel Peace Prize stands for. It is awarded to those who have done the most or best work for fraternity between nations, for the abolition or reduction of standing armies, and for the holding and promotion of peace congresses. In simple terms, it's about those who promote peace and stability in the world. Now look at Trump's record, and you will see actions that align perfectly with those principles. During his presidency, Trump did something that most world leaders only talked about. He brought enemies to the same table. The Abraham Accords were one of the most significant diplomatic breakthroughs of the 21st century. For decades, peace in the Middle East seemed impossible. But under Trump's leadership, Israel and several Arab nations signed agreements that normalized relations and opened a new chapter of cooperation. That alone should have been enough for the Nobel Committee to take notice. But they didn't. Why? Because when it's Donald Trump, politics always seem to get in the way of recognition. Let's be clear. Peace doesn't come from weakness. It comes from strength, from courage, from leadership that doesn't bow down to fear or media pressure. Trump understood that better than anyone. His approach to peace wasn't about endless negotiations or soft talk. It was about power, respect, and results. He famously said, "Peace through strength," and that's exactly what he practiced. Under his administration, no new wars were started. In fact, he became the first US president in decades who didn't lead the country into another military conflict. That's not a small thing. That's leadership. Look at North Korea. For years, American presidents promised to deal with the threat, but did nothing. Then came Trump. He didn't just talk, he acted. He met with Kim Jong-un, face to face. The first time a sitting US president had ever done so. Critics mocked him for it, but what happened next was remarkable. Tensions eased. Nuclear tests were paused. Communication opened. For a brief moment, the world saw hope where there had only been fear. That moment was created by Donald Trump, and it doesn't stop there. Trump also oversaw the withdrawal of US troops from regions that had been war zones for decades. He pushed America toward ending the so-called forever wars. His focus was on protecting lives, strengthening the economy, and rebuilding respect. He believed that peace abroad begins with strength at home. Every action he took was built on that foundation. America first, but peace for all. The Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to people who made gestures, who gave speeches, who promised change, but never delivered it. Donald Trump, on the other hand, produced results. He brokered peace deals that changed international relations. He prevented wars that others thought were inevitable, and he gave hope to millions who believed peace was just a dream. Yet, his achievements were ignored, not because they weren't real, but because they didn't fit the political narrative. But people are not blind. Around the world, millions recognize what he accomplished. Leaders from Israel, the UAE, Bahrain, and even parts of Africa acknowledged his efforts. Nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize were submitted by multiple international figures who saw the truth that Trump's vision brought stability where chaos once ruled, even though the prize was never awarded to him. The recognition from the people is louder than any medal or ceremony. Think about it. During Trump's presidency, the global economy grew stronger. Terrorist organizations like ISIS were weakened, and peace treaties were signed that no one thought possible. He didn't rely on traditional politics or bureaucratic diplomacy. He relied on direct communication, honesty, and bold decisions. That's what made him different. That's what made him effective. Critics will always argue. They'll point to controversies, to his outspoken style, to his refusal to play by the usual rules. But history doesn't remember the critics. It remembers the results. And Donald Trump's results speak louder than words. He stood against global corruption, challenged unfair deals, and demanded accountability from nations that had taken advantage of the system for decades. That kind of leadership doesn't just serve one country. It serves the world. Even after leaving office, Trump's message of strength and peace continues to inspire millions. He talks about rebuilding America, protecting sovereignty, and creating a future where peace is not forced, but earned. That message resonates far beyond borders. It's the same kind of vision the Nobel Peace Prize was created to honor. So the question isn't whether Donald Trump deserves the Nobel Prize. The question is why he hasn't received it yet. His peace efforts, his courage to take bold action, and his ability to bring nations together all qualify him for it. If the world truly values peace, it must recognize those who make it happen, even if they don't fit the traditional mold. In the end, history will correct what politics ignored. One day, when the noise of the media fades and the results of Trump's leadership are studied without bias, people will see the truth. They'll see a leader who stopped wars instead of starting them, who brought enemies together instead of dividing them, and who believed that peace comes not from weakness, but from strength. Donald J. Trump may not hold the Nobel Peace Prize yet, but his impact on global peace, diplomacy, and leadership is already written in history. He didn't wait for a medal to define him. He defined himself through action, courage, and vision. And that, more than any award, is what true greatness looks like. Because in the end, peace is not given. It's earned. And Donald Trump has earned it.